Hey there, welcome to day 28 of our 30-day plus Get Up and Go challenge. It's our 7th Get Up and Go challenge, sort of our anniversary. It's a year ago that we did the first 30 plus day challenge in April of 2020. And we're going to talk about our contribution soap today. How do we make a difference? How do we show up in the world? Again, contribution was the 7th of the 7 main areas and aspects of our life that we talk about. Learned this from probably Tony Robbins, who got it from Jim Rohn. Who knows? Who got it from Think and Grow Rich, who got it from, Andrew Carnegie, who started that whole thing. But, or commissioned Napoleon Hill to write Think and Grow Rich. But whoever started it, to me, it's been something that I've used for decades to break down and look at the different areas and aspects of my life so that I wasn't absolutely positively ignoring any aspect like I was in 2010 when I had a sudden cardiac arrest, because I was totally ignoring my physical well-being at that point in my life. So we've done the SOAP framework. We've gone through the SOAP framework on physical, financial, and relationships a day at a time. Then over the last handful of days, including today, we've gone over the rest of the areas and aspects of our life using an example of the SOAP framework, but doing the whole thing in one day. And today we're gonna culminate that by doing the area of contribution. Contribution is, how do we show up in the world? What are we here for? What are we doing? How do we impact? As far as I'm concerned, our contribution is how we impact the world outside of us. A lot of what we've talked about so far has been dealing with who we really are and what's inside of us, and how it's important to nurture and take care of that, because if we don't take care of ourselves, no one else is going to. And today we're going to talk about how does who we are impact with the rest of the world. And I like to apply the SOAP framework to this in terms of how do I show up in the world? What am I here to contribute? When I first started doing the Get Up and Go challenge a year ago, my thought was, here's my story. What's my story? Okay, I've been trucking along, doing my thing, moving from the offline world to the online world, clicking along, doing some things that work, some things that don't, but learning as I go and applying the things that I learn. And boom, COVID-19 hits. And everyone I'm working with, everybody that I'm interacting with, everyone I know is almost immediately impacted. Either their business is shut down, they've lost their job, other things, finances were cut off, all kinds of things, the whole spectrum of everything that we've all experienced because of the COVID pandemic, because of not because of the illness itself, but because of the ramifications and the reactions of people outside of us, things that we couldn't control that impacted our businesses, our livelihood, what we were doing, how we were spending our time, our freedoms, etc. And so it became apparent pretty quickly in March, as March turned to April, and as April began an entire month-long shutdown for me here in Wisconsin and our neighboring state of Minnesota, I realized I had to do something. I had to actually, personally, physically do something in order to keep myself moving forward and to help other people to do the same. And so I decided, all right, well, I'm going to do a Get Up and Go challenge, because it's really easy when we have a month, or it was going to be 2 weeks, then it was going to be a month, then it was going to be 3 months, and then all of a sudden here we are a year later, and depending on where you live, we're in varying states still of limited freedoms, limited ability to go and do and be and create whatever it is that we want in the old way that we used to do it. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and I think I've said this dozens of times before, the old way of doing things probably is never going to return. There are certain things, and some of those are positive, good things. Others you might view as not positive, not good. I would venture to guess that a lot of people that are working from home will continue to work from home indefinitely. Why? Because business owners and employers have discovered that it's maybe a little less efficient if they're not managing and doing certain things properly and setting things up to make it easy and efficient for their people to work from home. But there's an incredible savings in overhead by having people work from home. Incredible savings, billions and billions of dollars saved by having people work from home versus coming into an office. I think we're going to see a huge glut of commercial real estate because people are not going back to their 100,000-foot office complexes. They're finding that my people can do customer service calls from home. My people can do order fulfillment from home because it's all done electronically and online these days. So there's going to be changes like that that are probably better for some people, worse for others. I was one of those women that loved and needed to go into work. I loved being a mom, but I also loved that I still had my career. And so for each and every one of us, it's for us to navigate and figure out whether it's good or bad and how we make it good for us. The whole purpose of our life is to figure out how to make things that we can't control just work for us, because there's always a way to figure it out. That's what the SOAP framework, I hope, has taught you thus far. So let's talk about the area of contribution in our life. So my original story was, hey, I got to do something, so I'm going to bring people right along with me, and I created the Get Up and Go Challenge. Now, if I look at the Get Up and Go Challenge, this is our 7th time through it as a 30-plus day challenge, standalone challenge. And I'm at a decision point where I'm traveling over the next couple of weeks, and as part of that traveling, I'm going to reimagine and decide what I want to do with this particular challenge going forward. If I want to keep doing it since we're still in lockdown, or if I want it to morph, and I think it's time for it to morph into something different, something better for the people that have gone through it, and something better for me to show up more in the world and contribute more than what I have been with it so far. So my current situation is I'm doing this challenge. I do the Get Up and Go Challenge. That's how I give back. It's free. It's 30 days. It's free. It's always there. The content's always up. And it's just me sharing the stuff I've learned over, almost 50 years in business. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's like 47 years. I started my first business when I was 13. So I guess it's almost 48 years. I'm going to have to click that ticker up one more time, I guess, when I'm talking. But 48 years of different businesses, different online's only been since 2017. I became a certified partner for ClickFunnels, and so 2017 on, I've done online things, dabbled in a couple little things before then, but virtually nothing, because I didn't make the time for it. And then before that, lots of different businesses, lots of different industries, corporate America for over a quarter century, lots of stuff. And then I came online, and for me, I'm very grateful that I came online in 2017 instead of waiting for 2020 to hit and then saying, oh my God, all of my life is offline. What am I going to do now to create content, to create an income, to generate resources that will keep my life ticking along? So there's some of us, many of us, that we're absolutely cool with, and not that we're cool with the pandemic, but we were okay from a financial standpoint when the pandemic hit. Other people, devastated. So what am I contributing now? Get Up and Go Challenge. What do I want to contribute? What's my big hairy audacious goal? BHAG, people call them. I don't remember who started that, but somebody started the big hairy audacious goal in the area of contribution. My goal, and it has been for a little bit now, and I'm going to say it out loud, and people will be like, well, you're freaking nuts. You have no ability to do that. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about it. It's what do I think about it. So my actual desire from a contribution standpoint is to positively impact the lives of 1 billion people and help them to realize that they can create whatever it is they want in their lives by being 100% authentically themselves. They don't have to be anyone else. They don't have to put on masks and veils. They don't have to pretend. They don't have to make things up. They don't have to act as if. They don't have to be anything different than what they are. And 1 billion people can live that dream, live that, and I want to be the one that helps them to realize that and shows them the way to do that. Well, how do I do that? I don't know. That's where the O comes in, right? So there's the story, there's the situation. Story is, all I'm doing is this little challenge right now, and then working with a small number of people relative to the billion that I want to impact. So the O, the A, and the P of the framework help me fill that gap. How am I going to get from hundreds and thousands of people to billion people, right? That is a big gap, right? Not a little gap. It's an off-the-screen big gap. So how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to look at the O for options in the framework, and I'm going to start brainstorming out what are some of the ways I could possibly do that. And I'm going to cheat and grab my sheet because I did start mapping my SOAP out for this morning. So what would be some of the options? So for brainstorming, I could create an organization. I could create a group online. I could start gathering like-minded people. I could team up with other people, other influencers who also want to positively impact the lives of 1 billion people. I can create courses. I can create masterminds. I can create and do more coaching of people that I can help. And I help those people impact thousands of lives or hundreds of thousands of lives. I inadvertently impact and start ticking up that number to 1 billion. So I can brainstorm out a bunch of those. Then I want to pick, what thing do I want to do? What action do I want to take? Excuse me, itchy nose. I definitely have a cold. Better today. Every day it's a little better. That's what I love about colds. You feel rotten for a couple of days, and then all of a sudden you start feeling better. So, excuse me, coffee time. So then comes our A in the SOAP framework, right? What of those things can I do right now? I want to, as soon as I decide I want something, I want to commit to it. I am committed to positively impacting the lives of 1 billion people. I have no idea how I'm going to do it. I'm right now telling you right now, I have no idea how I am going to do that. But I will commit right here, right now, because that's always the first step, is to decide, choose, and commit to it. And I'm committing to it out loud that I'm going to positively impact the lives of 1 billion people. No idea how. That's where the O comes in. And I start doing things, and they get a snowball effect, right? We do a little bit. It gets us moving toward the thing that we want. And over time and over different attempts and adding different energy and effort, we get that snowball rolling so that all of a sudden I'll be looking back on my deathbed and saying, oh my God, I actually did positively impact 1 billion lives. But the only way to make that happen is to initially take some sort of action. So what can I do today to impact that, make a positive difference? Couple of things. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a new group that has common interests and start attracting people to that group. And that's something I can do today because I have the skills and the ability and I know how to do that. Or I can just reframe and do a group that I already have. I can reposition a group that I have to attract more of the people that I want to attract. Now our tool today, how do I know I'm making progress? I'm just counting the number of people that I have an impact on. There's a gentleman I follow who has been coaching for 25 years now, and he helps people to create businesses, and his measurement is dollars that they've created in the economy, or that they've captured. And so he's the $1 trillion man because he's helped thousands of people actually make $1 trillion. I can't even imagine how big $1 trillion is, but that's a big goal. And I don't think he set out to be a $1 trillion man, but that's what he's achieved by not all his transactions, but the transactions he's done plus the transactions of all his students have added up to $1 trillion. It's like that's a good enough example. I was going to use a ClickFunnels example with the 2 comma couple word, etc., and then the different awards. But ClickFunnels has awards for different levels of dollars through a funnel, and you can measure it any way you want. That helps you know that you're making progress. So what's our tool today? Our tool today is actually one of my favorites. It's your motto, your mantra, your code of conduct is a bigger version of that. It's your battle cry. It's your what do you stand for statement or mantra, and that indicates to people immediately what it is that you stand for and what you stand against. So for example, my battle cry or my mantra has been for a few years now, and it's a mellow one for me, but it's be loving, love being, be you. And it's been that for a while. That is my underlying current and battle cry. And I believe that if we be loving, if we love being and existing, then it allows us to be ourselves. And when you're being yourself, that sets the example and the positive example for the rest of the world. I stand for people being themselves. Now, I also add the caveat that you can do, be, and have whatever you want as long as it doesn't hurt other people. I'm not gonna encourage people to go out and be, criminals or mass murderers or unethical or immoral in any way, shape, or form, which is probably why I have be loving, love being, be you as my motto, my mantra. So I want to ask you today, and I want you to share in the comments below, what is your underlying motto? What's your mantra? What's your motto? I think of Steve Larson, he's the capitalist pig. I think of Russell Brunson, he's the funnel guy, the funnel hacking and funnel guy. And when people think of you, what do they think of? I don't think people think of me and think be loving, love being, be you yet. But that is my intention, is that I want to make that be what people see and hear my name and they think of, oh, that's right, she's the be loving, love being, be you person. And what do you want to be known for? What is it that you stand up for? What's your mantra? You know, there's so much in that one little sentence. That sentence means so much to me. It incorporates all of my core values, all of my code of conduct, all of the things that are important to me, such as continuous improvement, doing the best you can, doing what you can with what you got now, taking action, treating people the way you want to be treated, and putting out into the world the energy that you want so that you can get that back. And then being your unique self, being who you really are meant to be here on the planet. I believe our purpose, each and every one of us, is to live our life, and this life as only we uniquely can, given our differences, our choices, our feelings, our beliefs, our thoughts, our experiences. Only you can live your life, just as only I can live my life. So that's it. That's our contribution soap framework. That's my contribution for today. Go ahead, take a shot at this. Go through, think of your story, and maybe you're like, man, I'm just trying to keep my head above water and feed myself this month. That's your contribution, because guess what? If you're taking care of yourself, if that's your story right now, great. What do you want it to be? If you're taking care of yourself, that is positively impacting and contributing to the world. If you're taking care of you and your family, that's positively impacting and contributing to the world. That's what you're doing now. What do you want to? What kind of impact do you want to have outside of yourself? And maybe, hey, I just want to be the best grandma in the whole wide world. That's whatever you choose is right for you. Whatever you choose is perfect and enough for you. So work through the soap framework one time with your contribution. What's your story? What's your options? What's your action? What's your progress? And how will you know you're making progress? I just tap into how does it make me feel. If I do something and it makes me feel positive and I'm moving toward what I want, which is a more positive contribution on more people's lives, then I'm making progress. If I'm not, if I do something ever that makes me feel then I know that that's not making progress in the direction I want to go, so I don't do that again. And then share in the comments below what you think it is, or what you stand for, either what you stand for, or if you've got it, if you've got a motto or a mantra, share that in the comments below as well. So go out, have an absolutely amazing day. I will, of course, be with you tomorrow, and I'm not sure what we're doing tomorrow. Oh, yes, I am sure. I just peeked ahead and looked. It'll be a great day. It'll be a very good day for keeping things simple and understanding big, complicated things in a clear and concise way, a focused way. All right, have an awesome day. I'll be with you tomorrow. Any questions, ask. Otherwise, go do this. Go figure out and use the soap framework on your contribution. Take care. I'll catch you tomorrow.